Glasses over there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, woohoo! Welcome to our Radiant Tribe team call. I'm so excited for this call tonight. Larry and I are just always constantly talking about ways that we can just, serve each other better with this. And we've gone through so much with this business in the last 2.5 years, and anything that we can do to share with you guys to help you potentially avoid, some of that and just really come together as a team. It really does work so much better when you're supportive of each other, and we're going to give you some tips to be able to do that. So tonight is all about better together. I'm going to share my screen and let's get going. All right. What are we doing? There we go. All right. First, we're going to get to some recognition really super quickly. Normally, the recognition is for the week past, but I'm really super excited about these, so we're going to shout them out before our recognition on Friday in the team page. Congratulations to Casey. She is officially a Success Starter month 1, which means she earns, she's almost there to earning her free summit ticket, but this month she earned a call with corporate, and she gets to just hear some really neat strategies straight from them on how to just take her business to the next level as a new coach. So congratulations. That means she helped at least 3 people her very first month, and it's a huge, huge accomplishment. So congratulations. And then Jacqueline is on month 2. So she has literally 1 month to go, 3 people to help this month, and she's earned her summit ticket. If you don't know what summit is, we're going to talk about it in a minute. But congratulations to these ladies. This is such a big deal. So super, very proud of you. All right. We're going to hop right into it. How to build your business as a team. So when we think about why, you're like, okay, why is it important? You're already a team, right? You're already a team in every other area of your life. So this business should be no different. And it's funny because as we were talking and kind of thinking through some thoughts, I kept saying husband and hubby, but Larry kept saying, there should be another word for it. And I'm like, another word for husband? I'm not exactly sure what you mean. And he's like, no, but you keep saying like coach and husband. But I feel like we should substitute that and like should be team, like teammate, partnership, because really that is what it is. And even though those roles may look different, maybe the wife, or in some cases like Marcus and Carol, the husband. So depending who it is, one might be a little bit more active in the coaching role. That other person is no less part of the team for the things that they're doing to contribute to this business as well. So you're already a team. You probably have some flows and routines and systems in your family, hopefully. So it's the same thing with this business. Plus, 2 are better than 1. I love just even bouncing ideas off of him. He knows nothing about, like Instagram and Facebook. He's come a long way. You come a long way.
I have on Instagram now.
Okay, you do have an Instagram.
I have like 300 followers.
That's amazing. Good job. I'm just saying, at the beginning, he knew nothing about social media. I knew nothing about really social media either. Nothing about business, but we each have our own, kind of like strengths and things that we can, skill sets and unique giftings and everything. But even just bouncing ideas off of him, I'll say, read this post, let me know, how would you receive that on the other end? So just an extra set of ears, an extra set of eyes. And it's so much more fun. It's fun to not only watch this journey unfold, but to just bring him along and be able for him to understand it a little bit better.
Oh, I thought we missed part. So the other thing I was going to say is it's been cool to see just the story is like when she talks to me about what she does, she's able to tell me about the impact that she's having on other people. And that to me is like refreshing. It literally, there's times where for me, there's days where I'm like, it's so cool to know that you're impacting other people, that you're having an impact on other people's lives. And it's just fun to watch other people come alongside, and just really honestly, why we do this is it's for Jesus. Like this is a ministry to us as a family. Like I look at this as a ministry as a family. So to see people just in their spiritual journey, like growing, like that to me is just, it's encouraging. Like there's days where I wake up and she'll tell me different things about what's going on in her business. And it's just, it helps me. It like literally gives me energy to go about my own day. So that's an important thing too. So I guess to kind of start on my end, I was going to say, it's okay to be skeptical as a partner, as a teammate. It's okay to be a little bit skeptical. I wasn't necessarily skeptical in the beginning. I really wanted her to pursue Beachbody because I had already done a lot of the workouts and I had already researched the company. So, I really knew that this was something that, I thought she would just thrive in. But having said that, what I would say is if you're skeptical, it's really okay. It's very normal and natural to be skeptical. I would say research the potential, because the thing that I love about what Beachbody does is they have a very, very sound business model that really does work. Like we're seeing it work. And I knew from the very beginning that, it was the real deal. I've looked at, and we've talked about like looking at other franchise opportunities in business. I've looked at them. And I'll be honest, like the startup cost to go build your own business, it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, in most cases. Even some of the like more, lower end franchises are still $20,000 buy-ins, to just get things started. So this business is a very, very real opportunity with a lot of potential. And, it really doesn't take a whole lot to get it up off the ground in comparison to some of the other things that, you might consider if you were to go start your own company or start your own business. So I would just say, and honestly, I've done so much research on it. So if you have any questions about other opportunities and other things that are out there, happy to answer them because I probably have looked at them. But if even for yourself, like research the potential yourself too, because you're going to see that there's a lot there. The second thing that really helped me as I kind of like after the first few months, it really helped us to like get on the same page in terms of me understanding why she was doing this. So for me, I knew that it was a sound business model, but I hadn't connected so much with like, her, the concept of, her operating in her passion and giftings, and really, really like I just said, like understanding that she was doing this because she wanted to help people. Like, don't get me wrong. I knew that in the back of my mind, but once I really understood that that was her why, that that was why she was doing this, it really helped me understand that her intentions behind everything were solid, good intentions. So I would just encourage you, because this is part of, I think, kind of what each coach has to kind of go through is understanding their why. And I think that as a husband, when you understand that, it really makes things so much easier. Just in the day-to-day things, understanding why she's doing what she's doing is so important. And we've kind of applied that to even other stuff as well. Like when we make decisions together, like knowing why she wants to do something is just, it's so integral in just sort of understanding, why she's thinking the way that she's thinking. So really, really encourage you, ask her after this call, why, like, what is your why? Like know it and understand it, because it will help you support her that much more as you continue to grow the business. So at first, when I told you I learned a lot about like the Beachbody model, but I didn't fully understand what would go into a day-to-day, like what it would actually take. And so at first I'm like, what is she doing? Like she just
plays
said,
on social media
right.
all day.
Like I used to literally think like she's just scrolling through social media, and that was definitely the wrong perspective, and it's not an accurate depiction of what she was really doing. I understand that it completely probably looks like that at times, but ask her, help her, she can talk to you about what it is that she's doing so that you understand it, because there's a lot that goes into the day-to-day. It's a pretty simple breakdown. It would probably take 15 to 20 minutes for her to like just talk to you about what it is. And then, you'll have a better understanding of what it is that she's doing. Understand it, guys, because it really, really will help you to come alongside her. And like Patrice said, collaborating together to just kind of figure out like how you can help. Because I guarantee, like Patrice said, we all have our own strengths and weaknesses. You have strengths that will help her business. Like 100%, I know it, I guarantee it. I mean, whatever it is that you do in your career, the way your brain works, the way you're wired, like there is something about you that she can tap into that will help her business. And like the sooner that you can like get that and understand that, man, like the power of two people, like that's what we talked about in the beginning. Like it really is two are better than one. And like when you really grab hold of that and come behind it together, it ends up being fun. Like it's one of those things where we now like are in it together and we're like, wow, this is so much fun. It really is. Like it's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Lastly, was there something?
I was going to say really quick, show your, spouse, partner, teammate, some of the transformations that you're getting in your challenge groups and your coaches. Does your coach get a paycheck? Those little things that we celebrate inside of our little like bubble where he might be looking at you like, what? I have no idea what's happening. Bring him in. Don't just shut it off when he walks in the door, of course, unless your business hours are over at that time. But sometimes I think we compartmentalize and we think, our faith is our faith, and our family is our family, and our family can't connect with our business. We have to like protect our kids and our family. And although our mission on this team, we know we're very big on God, family, then business, that doesn't mean they have to be exclusive from each other. It doesn't mean we have to separate them completely from each other. If you're a coach right now, then that means that's where you're called to be. And if you're called to be here, then that calling isn't just for you. That calling includes your family. So having them know and understand what it is that you're doing. My kids know what I'm doing. They know mommy helped people get healthy and points them to Jesus. Like that's how they would say, you know, they love hopping in my workouts, and they always, you know, they see people hop up, they know your names, like they know your names. And so I just love that. I love that they know what my mission is. Of course, like I said, we set up those boundaries so that this is not an idol or an obsession, you know, or taking us away. We protect our family time, and that's something that, you know, we definitely do. But don't feel like you can't include, you know, your husband, your wife, your kids, your extended family, your friends. That's what this is about, right? Impacting, deep impact throughout our sphere of influence. So don't feel like you have to completely disconnect. So if you get a transformation that happens or something exciting happens, you know, in our coach community, whatever it is, share those things and say, here, listen, look at this. This is what one of my clients shared. So they can say, oh, okay, so you're not just playing on social media. You're connecting with people. You are engaging with people. You're investing in people's lives. And guess what? It's paying off. Like, look at this fruit. And so, you know, bring them along a power hour. It doesn't have to be a whole hour. Maybe it's like you said, a 15, 20 minute, okay, look, this is what I do every day. So you can see, and then show them the fruit of, you know, what you're doing every day too.
And this isn't something we talked about, but it's a two-way street too. Because one of the things that I've noticed about my career and my business is now that when I come home and I talk to her about what she's doing, I'm more prone to talk to her about my day. And I never used to do that. I used to kind of like want to like shut the door, like when I walked in the front door, like leave work at work. But I've become like much more open to talking to her about my own business and career, because it's kind of a two-way street. So like we're including both of each other in our businesses and our careers. And it becomes just a really, really core part of just kind of who we are. So go to events. Is that where I'm? So I would say that one of the biggest things that changed like my perspective on the business was when I went to Summit. So she kind of forced me to go, kind of made me to go. And I wanted to go, but it was definitely something that, you know, I was like, okay, you know, I'm going to go, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, guys, it was so cool. Like it was a lot of fun. I learned
pictures. Look at me.
Oh yeah, we do a picture. Oh my gosh. I'm going to cut my hair.
Look, he was with Tony Horton. Isn't he so cool? That's his favorite trainer, Beachbody trainer.
Yeah, that's where I started. I started
I'm just kidding. It's paper.
You don't have to tell him that.
You could have worked out. Yeah. Good.
So when we went there, look at that. I literally had him on me the whole time.
Okay, so is that not the cutest thing ever? Talk about support, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Support doesn't necessarily mean you're sitting down with an Excel spreadsheet, although that's his like happy place. That maybe that's not your strength, and that's okay. Finances, you know, business. Maybe that's not your strength. That's okay. It's not mine. We all have differences. We talked about that. But maybe you can throw in a load of laundry so she can do a quick little pocket, or pick up, you know, doing the dishes or doing dinner or watching the kids. That was his job. He came to support me because I was still nursing that baby and couldn't leave him at home, or, you know, wasn't comfortable leaving him at home yet. But I knew that Summit, this is my very first year, 6 months in, I was like, I'm going to Summit. I know that it's an investment, but I know that it's going to be what I need to really explode my business. It's an investment right back into my business. So I said, babe, I'm doing this. I'm going. He was fully supportive. And I was like, but you're going to be on daddy duty. So you can see him in the stadium with Jonah as a baby. He had to leave and take care of him and all of that. And he literally just supported me. And that was everything to me, because I was able to be there and be present. And we were doing it as a team, but the roles just looked a little different, and that's okay. So.
And I still learned a lot while I was there.
Yeah.
Like I would say that the conference itself had a ton of really great business leadership takeaways, you know, even aside from Beachbody. So it really wasn't all just Beachbody. Like it was stuff that I could actually apply to my own career. So I would say, you know, go. If you have an opportunity, or like if you're skeptical about going, go, because it really will give you really good perspective on things and help a lot. So I think we have a kid that's up.
Okay,
the other thing I would say is, it was a great opportunity to connect. So I met Caroline and Brian and
so
a
my
bunch of
upline
other.
Caroline is right here. That's her hubby,
Yeah.
Brian, and daughter. And then if you don't know, her upline is Michelle Myers. That's her husband. So just getting to, sorry, I'm speaking.
No, it's okay. I met a bunch of other, partners, husbands that, supported their wives, and we had so much in common. So if you have an opportunity, I would love to connect with you. If you're thinking about coming to Summit, go to Summit. I would love to connect with you. We'll hang out. It would just be a blast. It really is a good time. So I just encourage you, if you can come, please, 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 please come.
And I saw a huge shift in him afterwards. So yes, he was supportive, but I saw coming back from that, him wanting to take more. Hi, boys. He wanted to take more of an active role in the business, where he was like, you could tell just through conversations with Brian and James and just seeing, oh my gosh, this is a real thing. Like, there's other people that actually do this, not just the little Brady Bunch people that she talks to on the screen every day. Like, these people are real. So picture thousands of people in that stadium with the same passion that, we have, getting to experience that. Like, wow, this is a real thing. Hearing the mission of the company from, the top, and just being able to be a part of that, there's nothing like it. And so he came back, and I could just tell there's a shift in him. He's like, no, this is our business. What can I do to help? And he has a ton of skill sets that help me. And so we were able to just kind of figure some of that out. But I know it was a spark that was absolutely lit, from being a part of Summit. So we already have, some lodging stuff kind of worked out for you guys. So number one is the way you can support your wife is help her get there, right? Help her get there so that she can be there, be present. If you can work it out financially to be there as well, then it's going to be a game changer for both of you. But if nothing else, support her in figuring out what you have to do to help her get there, because it really will be an incredible blessing to her business. I know that I wouldn't be here where I am now if I didn't go so early on, in my business, for sure. So, okay, events, and then Super Saturday. We've talked about that a lot too. So if you can make it to a super weekend, it's a mini version of Summit. We have one coming up this weekend that some of the girls are coming to, where I'm going to be speaking. So get to one of those if you can. All right. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think communication.
Be a contributor.
No, we're on communication.
Oh, communication. Okay. There you go. Communication is key. So being on the same page. Hi, little boy. Being on the same page. So just like in marriage in general, right? And all of this, I know we're saying kind of like that spouse context. But if you're not married, that's okay. Whether it's a boyfriend or a fiance or a mom, this is just like support system. Like having somebody that is in your corner, that all these things apply to as well, so that you're not in this alone, okay? So being on the same page. With any relationship, you can't expect that person to be a mind reader, right? So if he comes in the house and I had a horrible day, I couldn't get any work done because my kids were a hot mess, I can't just expect him to know how to help me or know how to serve me. So being open and honest and saying, hey, babe, I didn't get much work done today. Would you mind helping out with dinner or putting the kids to bed so that I can hop on a call really quick, or, get some work done that I didn't get done today. I can't expect him to know that. So making sure that you're on the same page, you're communicating about all those things. A schedule is so important. We didn't always do this, and there's times when we don't and we feel it. But if you can sit down together on a Sunday night, at the beginning of the week, and look at your week for everything, your family responsibilities and duties, any appointments, anything with church, or his work, her work, your coach stuff, whatever you have going on, sit down and link up your calendars to where, it minimizes some of that stress of, like I said, him walking in and you just expecting him to know that you had a call and you're annoyed that he got home late and now the kids are crazy. So just get on the same page as early on as possible. The more you can communicate, the better. And then by having that schedule, we talk about this all the time with productivity, because we do want to protect our family time and honor our priorities. You're going to be able to be present. So you're going to be able to be present when you're working, because you have your boundaries set. You have your time that you're working. You can show up. You can be fully present with your challengers and your coaches and, do your work, be fully present there. But then when that time is done, you can unplug and be fully present where you need to be as wife, as mom, as husband, as, whatever. So making sure that we're setting up those boundaries to protect our time so that we can be present when we need to be, where we need to be. Also being patient. One of the things Larry was going to talk about is, be patient. Whoever the one is that's actively coaching, be patient with that person. So much of what we do is about failing forward. We use those terms like we have to try things and then realize that it didn't work, and then try something again and realize that doesn't work, and then we try something and maybe that works, but doesn't work for very long and we have to tweak it. So it's a constant, learning process. So be patient, together, and be patient with the other person who's not actively working the business as they're trying to figure out how to support you. That's where communication comes in. So being patient, trusting that this is all about learning. It's a day by day. You all know, because you're coaches, no matter if you've been coaching for 5 days or 5 months or a couple years, you know that this is a journey. It's not a get rich quick scheme. So you're not going to all of a sudden hit emerald and money's going to be flowing, to your account. It's about sowing those seeds and planting those seeds and being faithful, and then the fruit coming, eventually. So being patient in the moment as you're kind of going through that. Expect it to be busy. There's going to be for sure different times and seasons where maybe it's a little bit more calmer and you're kind of just doing the minimum. And then maybe seasons where you're like, what, income wise, or, whatever it is, maybe you bring in a decent amount of people in that month and things are a little bit busier. So just expect those kind of ebbs and flows in the business where things are going to be a little bit different, and you have to kind of be flexible and willing to kind of figure it out. So what is that under there? I can't see that. So expect it to be busy. And then, did you have anything to say with that? Be patient.
Yeah, be patient.
Give it a chance. Give it a chance. So this one was big because I feel like it's so easy to think about even college. We go to college, we say, I'm going to invest thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, right, into my education, hoping that at the end of 4 plus years, depends what your kind of field is, we invest all of this money for 4 plus years, hoping that on the other side of that, we're going to find a job that we're passionate about, and then that's going to kind of pay back what we invested over those years. So we don't really think twice about going to college for 4 plus years. So why is it that with something like coaching that literally, we're not chasing the finances, right? But if you get to know the compensation plan, I just posted a video for you guys, but if you get to know the compensation plan, there literally is no ceiling with the amount of income you can make with this business when you're willing to put in the work for it, and with time, right? We're willing to put in all that time and that money into college, hoping that we're going to, find something we're passionate about on the end of this. But when it comes to coaching, we try it for a couple months. We kind of give some days we do, some days we don't. We're not consistent, and then we expect that it's going to just all of a sudden, like I said, see this huge, influx of income. So when it doesn't after a few months, we want to give up, or we want to think maybe this is not working, or maybe this is not for me. We want to question it. We have to give it a chance. Literally, again, it's the little things that we do every single day consistently that's going to add up. So if you're not being consistent, don't expect it to appear to be working, right? So we have to make sure that we're doing those little things every single day, giving it a chance. So not when it's a frustrating day or frustrating week or a frustrating month, we completely give up, push past that. There's so many examples of coaches in here who, tried and then decide, okay, I'm actually going to go all in. And then they saw the fruit from what they've been doing for weeks and months leading up to that. So give it a chance. Yeah.
So be a contributor. I think as a husband, as a partner, as a teammate, this is probably one of the most important things that you probably don't even realize that has a big impact on just her mental attitude towards the way that she approaches her business. So ask her how you can help. It sounds so simple and of course, we should be doing that with or without a Beachbody business or her own business. How can I help? How can I help? How can I help? But it's even more true in this case, because there are things that, she needs help with that you probably can help her with. And until I went out of my way and said okay, I get it. You're doing this. How can I help you? And, she said to me, I need you to take the back end and understand the financial part of things. And I was like, cool, I got it. I can do that. So I dove into that, and yes, I did it my way. I created spreadsheets and did different things and, trackers and things like that. There are absolutely ways that you can impact her business and help her with her business, help her grow her business. So I would say, what skill sets do you have? How can you, use the skill sets that you already have to help her out? And you can educate yourself too. There's plenty of material out there from Beachbody to help you understand like just the actual financial model. That's one of the things that, I kind of took on, was just really understanding the structure, how she gets compensated, how does this whole thing kind of work? And once I was able to kind of figure that out, I was able to support her and just kind of give her some strategic guidance, like literally help her with strategic advice in terms of how to go about things, how to think about things. So educate yourself. She can provide you with a lot of tools. I know Patrice has a lot of a lot of material and a lot of things. It's not that hard, and it doesn't take that much time to educate yourself. We're not talking about a 3-month long training process where you've got to pour in hours and hours a day. Like, we're talking about a couple hours of reading or listening to videos to just help educate yourself on how you can be a contributor. And then there are simple things too. I mean, it doesn't even really have to be specifically Beachbody related, but there's definitely times where I've been like, hey, like, do you need me to do dishes tonight? Do you need me to, do laundry? Do you need me to, take the boys for the night? And so you can get some work done. Like, there's definitely opportunity for you to just kind of come alongside her and just ask her how you can, take on some additional responsibilities to help her. And guys, what I would say is, like, I had to kind of like think about this a little bit selfishly too, because once I understood the value of what she was doing, not just financially, but in terms of helping other people, it really set my mindset completely differently. I was like, you know what? People need her. Like, there's people out there that she's helping. And so by me helping her, she's able to help more people. That took it to a different, just a whole different, well, yeah, which in turn brings income for sure. But like, even just not making it necessarily about the financial piece, but like, helping other people, that was really big. And yeah, it does turn into income. So it all is kind of like full circle. And once I kind of got that, it was easy. Like, I was like, what do you need me to do tonight? Do you need me to take the boys out? Do you need me to do this? Do you need me to do that? Because it just made sense for me.
The vacation probably helps a little bit too.
Right? Yeah. The first time she took me on vacation, and I was like, wow, I can get used to this. Like, that was really cool. Be a part of her brand. So I think that, each coach is going to kind of like build their own brand differently, and you can be a part of that in a lot of different ways. Like Patrice said, even if it's just, kind of helping with wording, certain things, or, just being a part of her brand is something that you can actually do.
Be a transformation story. Like,
yeah.
Hop in. One of the big turns for me was when he used to get so annoyed taking pictures. And I'm like, this is what I do. Like, this is one thing you can do for me, is get in my picture without a crunchy face. Like, my kids fake smiles. Like, stop it.
She's got us all trained now.
Jonah's like, please, mommy, take my picture. But yeah, at the beginning, it drove me crazy. But that was one thing he started doing. All right, fine, I'll get in your silly pictures, or I'll hop in your workout. He didn't know that meant so much. People love seeing sweaty selfies of us both together working out afterwards. Or, videos during our workout. Like, people love seeing that, because the thought of like the husband and wife joining together, getting healthy together. Sometimes we think it's mommy getting healthy or the wife getting healthy. No, this is about the family. Right. That's what we're about, is impacting the whole family. Sometimes we have to get to the wife first, but we know that she's the catalyst. So if we can get to her, we can bring the hubby in, bring the kids in. This is about health for the family. So, get in on a workout either together, or if your schedules don't allow, pick a program and say, all right, I'm going to do this for 30 days. I'm going to do your little workouts for 30 days. Let's see if this helps. You want me to eat healthy? Okay, make my food. I will eat whatever you make, right? Just those little things, like, and hello, what's the worst that can happen? You get healthier, like lose some weight, you have more energy, right? It's like benefiting you. See how all of this, like, literally, it pours into everything. So you're getting healthier, you guys are getting healthier as a family. You're setting an example as a family to your friends, as well as it's helping to grow her business. It is. We are living products of the product. That's one of the main things that we do as coaches, is we live it out. So imagine the power that can come from living it out as a family. So do a workout program, hop in there, eat those healthy meals, take some photos, do those little things that will really go such a long way.
Yeah. And then lastly, again, ask her how you can help. So even if you do it once, do it again 3 weeks later, do it again a month later, because her business is changing. So it's going to take you asking the question, because she's not necessarily just going to, tell you how you can help. ask multiple times. I had to do that. Like at first I was like, what do you need me to do? And then I didn't do it again for a while. And finally I was like, okay, now what do you need me to do? And it was different later on. So, again, just ask her how you can help, because there's ways that you can help.
Yeah.
Okay. So, kind of the emphasis of tonight is to team up. And one of the things we were talking about is just, there's so much value in working together. And I think it just can't go, unsaid. Like, being a team, you can create more value. So it's kind of a resource thing too. Like, there's only so much time in a day. There's only so much that she can do. So the more she's able to offload things, or, just minutes, time, hours, all those things, it's a resource, and it kind of turns into income on the back half of it. So when you can create, work together, you're creating more value and more income in the long run for your business. So work together, figure out how to collaborate together, and talk about things that, really will allow you to build a stronger income.
Investing in your business too. Right?
Oh yeah. So one of the things that I had to kind of get, I guess it took me probably like 6 months to a year to understand, is that this business works really, really well when you invest back into it. So when the income starts to come in and you start to see, some expenses
even before it comes in.
Yeah, even before it comes in, there's an investment to it. It's still minimal compared to what it would take to get another business off the ground. But as the income starts to come in, typically what we try to do is invest really 50% back into the business. Is kind of a good model. And I know that sounds like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really not. And what I would say is you see it turn quickly. So, we started out, and you can probably explain it better than me. We started out with Shakeology.
Well, I was thinking so some of the newer coaches where, let's see, your monthly investment is probably into your Shakeology, right? Your Shakeology, or your performance line. So you're spending money per month. And the goal, of course, is to help those 3 people so that that's covered. That was the main thing that we talked about at the beginning. He's like, the goal should be, one thing he understood is like, okay, how do we bring in enough so that you're not paying for your products every month? Because yes, again, it's an investment, but it's into our health. It's not like this is it's literally directly benefiting us. So we don't even really look at Shakeology and stuff as like financial investment, because it's things we would be using anyway, because we're healthier because of it. But yes, you do have to, if you want to be a product of the product, which is essential for your business, you are investing in the products that we use. So at the beginning, if you're helping those 3 people, and that was always my goal, I've never paid for my products ever, because I'm like, well, I'm going to work hard enough to at least have that paid for. Everything else is, bonus. So at the beginning, you are, even if you help a couple people, you are kind of like almost breaking even, based off what you're bringing in and what you're putting back in. But as you're compounding, it's that compound effect. As you're bringing on new people every month, and you're retaining the people that joined the last month, so you're serving your people well and bringing on new people, that's when it starts to build up. But we know that the income for us comes from that team cycle bonus. So the quicker you can get, to Emerald, but not just Emerald as in like a couple coaches, but growing deep and adding and continuing to add to your team, that's where the team cycle bonus comes in, to where eventually that's what we want, is the majority of your income is your team cycle bonus, versus like trying to work so hard for these commissions. We talk about that all the time, but it's hard to see at the beginning, because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm paying money, right? I'm paying for my Shakeology, I'm paying for these things. When am I going to break and start to make that income? But again, that comes definitely with time and from growing your team. So if you're not there yet, don't fret. Know that it's coming. Like, that's the next step. And when you want that income to grow, that's what your focus should be, is growing, your team. So
yeah, I was just gonna say, and that's not unusual for any other business either. Like any other business that you would start up, you're gonna need to invest money back into that business, and so expect that here as well. Again, it's not substantial, but it is something to just kind of take note of, because at first I'm like, why are you spending money on this? Why are you spending money on that? And then I realized, wait a minute, this is a business. Like, we have to invest money back into this business so that we can see the kind of growth. And thankfully I did, because, it's paid off like dividends. It will, like she said, compound effect. It will pay off in the long run. Mm-hmm. The other thing that I want to talk about was just applying other business ideas and principles. Like, there's one of the things that I did was connected with multiple people just in my own network, not hers, in relation to just marketing and advertising. I have a friend that's in social media. It helped me to think about some of the other business ideas that are out there and sort of just, again, brainstorm and collaborate with her on some things that might work. And so I would encourage you to do that too. Tap into your own network of people that might be helpful in terms of coming up with different things that might work for your business. I mean, it's a business, guys. It might sound like, oh, it's just a workout thing. No, like there's a complete business model around this, and there's all kinds of business ideas that will work inside this model. Obviously, Beachbody has laid a really good, solid foundation. So they do give you everything, but other business ideas are always, encouraged. So, yeah. And then I would say trust one another. I think the biggest thing is, when I think about what she's doing, I trust that the Holy Spirit is in her. So if there's a week that's off, that's not going well, or that, things might seem out of balance, instead of just like hitting her hard with that and being like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I learned that it was easier for me to just pray about it and just like trust the Holy Spirit in her, that he's going to work on her heart and going to give her, that like reminder of like, okay, I need to do this differently. This didn't work last week, or this didn't work that week. And I'm talking more about, just things that might get maybe out of balance. And so, trusting the Holy Spirit within her to just, kind of find the way was a really big piece for me too, because it allowed me to be more patient. It allowed me to come alongside her and support her. So trusting one another was really big.
Yep. Give it time. Be here in a year is what I love to say to new coaches. Be here in a year. Why not? Jacqueline, wasn't that something that Eugene said? Was it a year? He told you, he said, yes, you can do this, but if you're going to do it, you got to give it, how long was it?
Yeah, I had to promise to still be here in a year. I couldn't quit before a year was up.
Yeah.
So the other thing I was going to mention, what was really neat, is the idea behind looking at her income year one. So I told you, part of what I did was I was able to kind of track the finances and compensation, that we were bringing in. And like year one, I was like, okay, she's making sort of this part-time income that would be, is really helpful. But if she was doing this outside the house, we would have still some kind of childcare costs to incur. Like just sort of thinking logically, that first year, I was like, okay, I was able to see after that year, she made, a part-time income. Year two, she was able to double that, and then it turned into, wow, this is like an actual full-time income that exists. And this year we're on track to basically have a full-time career type of income. So it's real, guys. And I'm not the type of person, like I remember in the very beginning, I heard different people talking and stuff, and I'd be like, okay, we'll see. We're normal people. Like there's not like anything crazy special about us. Like we're very average people. And I get that sounds maybe even corny to some extent, but it's really true. Like that there is real potential here that for anyone. And I guess like it's real. And it's crazy for me to be sitting here 2.5 years in and going, wow, like she really has a full-time salary type income that we can count on, that's there. And, again, I get it. I'm not trying to sell anybody on it, but I do want to be real, like very transparent about that. Like it's a real deal. I promise. Like it's a real deal. It's not a scheme. It's not fake. It's a legit company with a very good business model that really does work. So.
Questions? Oh, Larice, your husband likes to clean. Send him over here. And spreadsheet buddies. Love it.
Yeah.
What questions do we have? I
see somebody with a pen. He's taking notes. He's got to have a question.
Eugene?
Yeah.
Eugene, what you got going on over there?
She's shaking his hand.
What is that face? All right, I'm unmuting you, and I'm going to hear everything you're saying. Ready, set. I won't put you in the spot. What's he saying?
Go ahead. What did you say?
I'm just very happy that my wife has somebody to rely on and be in the journey with. So, job well done, everybody.
Is that what he said, really? That's hilarious. Any questions? Marcus and Carol, how are you doing over there? Is this a lot of info for your first couple weeks as a coach?
I think it's just screenshotted it.
Oh, it's frozen.
So we're doing, we have
And we have support. So we've gone through some stuff. So I'm more of a behind the scenes type, out with media, especially while I'm working full time right now. So I'm helping out.
I couldn't really hear what you said because it was breaking up a little bit.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can actually.
Oh, okay. So I was just saying, so since I am the support role in this, we kind of have a system going, I guess 11 years in. We kind of know strengths and his strengths. And so while he's working his full time, I'm helping him out with his social media and stuff like that. But he's actually stepped his social media game up, which is amazing. So, so yeah, it's been fun. Definitely a lot of information to digest right now.
Yeah. Well, you guys hopped right in. I love it. I've seen his stories with the kids working out and him drinking his shake, making his shake. That's what it's about. Not waiting until we have all the information or we feel like we're experts, right? It's like just trying, living it out, sharing your journey, and just kind of not being afraid to mess up. And I mean, he really knows if it's a mess up or not. Just kind of living it out and trying and going for it, taking that action. So I love that. We look forward to chatting with us tomorrow.
I forgot to mention, you want to throw my cell phone number in the chat so they have it, because
Yeah, I'll post it
the
on.
thing I was going to say is, seriously, I get it. And maybe it's intimidating to ask questions like online. Like, she's going to put my cell phone number in the chat. For real, please text me. Like, if you have a question or you want to talk about something, like, I love connecting with new people. Like, so I would love to connect with you. Please feel free to like shoot me a text, introduce yourself.
Julian's on. I didn't see you back there.
And send me a text. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have about it. And I totally get it. Like we first said, it's really fine to be skeptical. I totally understand that. So, yeah.
I know, but I know they're thinking things. I just want to
I know, I can see it on their faces.
pull it out. They're talking about it. But not,
He's really funny. I want you to text me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eugene will be texting you, Larry.
Yes, please do.
I love it. All right. Well, happy birthday, Eugene. Your birthday's this weekend, right?
Happy birthday, man.
Yay.
25, right?
Forever.
Yeah.
Please tell him he should come to Super Sunday with me as a birthday gift and work out with Joel. We've been working out with Joel on TV. Now we can work out with him in person.
Yeah.
Or you could save it. I mean, you could save it for Summit.
Yeah, come to Summit.
She's earning that ticket. So
We'll come to Summit so we can hang out.
got some time, July. I love it. All right. We're going to take, this is how you're going to contribute, right? This is how you're going to support. You're going to smile for this picture coming up. You ready?
Do you want me to put my number in the chat real quick?
No, that is going to go away. So I'll
okay.
post it on our team page. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. I love it. Love it.
Awesome.
All right, guys, we're here if you need anything.
Yes.
Please, any questions, ever, let us know. Thanks for hopping on. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.
Peace.
Bye.